Alright, how's it going everyone? So in this video I wanted to show the difference between capacitors in series and capacitors in parallel, because there is a big difference, and whether or not this could be good for your modifications on what you're going to do to graphics cards, motherboards, and or whatever you're going to do. Generally for modifications on graphics cards and motherboards, you're going to do it in parallel. Now, parallel for capacitors and series for capacitors is the same math that you would use for resistors, like doing resistor dividers and stuff like that for your graphics cards as well. So the math is the exact same from capacitors to resistors. So that is one thing to keep in effect. So first off, what we're going to do is show the capacitance of each capacitor as a single. These are 270 microfarad 16 volt capacitors. Yes, these are 16 volt 270s. They are very, very small and very nice to have. So what we're going to do is grab my multimeter here and show you capacitance of just one capacitor, about 270. Perfect. We'll go up to the next one here. 286 gives a bit more. That's awesome. So some of these are going to be plus or minus. Again, capacitors always going to be plus or minus, not going to be perfect, but a low ESR capacitor is going to be better for doing modifications to graphics cards. So when looking at capacitors in parallel and in series, what we can look at is like this. Straight line like this, and you're basically connecting your neutral, ground, to your power, ground to your power, ground to your power, ground to your power, until you do however many in series that you want to do. And that right there, in series, will increase the voltage capable. So you're basically increasing the voltage, but you're losing the capacitance. The capacitance is not going to increase whatsoever by adding capacitors. You will be increasing the max voltage in which these capacitors can handle, because you're taking the stress from one and you're dividing it. So you put two together, these are 16 volt, you can go to 32 because it'll be 16 and 16 added together, but the same capacitance. No extra gains in capacitance, just more voltage, which will make it so that way there'll be less stress. So basically what you can look at is like a battery bank and whatnot. Let's say you wanted to have a higher voltage. Let's say you got a whole bunch of certain size capacitors and you wanted to have a max voltage of 32 volts or a max voltage of 28 volts. You're not going to generally go straight up to what these max are, 16 volt each. So again, you add two of these in series together, and what you're doing is make it so that way you got 16 volt plus 16 volt. Same capacitance. So 270 microfarad is what these are, and they're 16 volt. So you just add the voltage together and you can do 32 volts at the end. Now, when you're talking about parallel, in parallel, you're taking two of these capacitors from the power side, the power terminal, and the ground terminal, so power side and ground, and you're adding them together. So I'll rip one of these off here. So you're adding them together like this, all right? When you're doing two of them together in parallel, what you're doing is doubling the capacitance but keeping the same voltage. Okay, so these 270 microfarad will go up to 540 microfarad by doubling them up in parallel. So ground to ground, power to power. That's parallel. Voltage stays the same. Voltage does not change whatsoever. Your capacitance does increase. And this is what you will be doing 100% of the time when you're modifying graphics cards or even motherboards. All right, and that's what these do. And you can also apply this to tantalum capacitors as well and MLCCs, except for MLCC capacitors, multi-layer ceramic capacitors, those little ceramic capacitors, they are non-polar, so you can solder them on any way and they'll just work. These you have to solder on the same way. You have to be more mindful on how you're soldering these on. So today what we're going to do here to show is I got a fan here. Now, the power supply, when you turn it off, it will also, the battery, the the capacitor, which is basically a battery, has to drain too. So this will continue to spin for a while after the power supply has stopped, like giving power to the power supply. So I have a power supply here. I've cut some ends off. This is 12 volts, so this right here, 12 volt source, and this is our ground. And what I'll be doing is adding this to my fan. All right, so I'll show you here. All right, so we got this plugged in. I'm going to turn on the power supply, and it turns on the fan. Full bore, so it has no control whatsoever. And I turn it off, and as you can see, it still spins. But that's fine. So what we're going to do is add a couple of capacitors in parallel to show you that they do hold a charge. So we got one right here. I'm going to solder this to this end. So we're going to solder this to this end here. And I'll just solder somewhere above it another wire that goes to this. Two capacitors here. And what I'll do is put them in parallel. All right. So I'll make sure we are in parallel. And I'll just make sure they're like that. Does that be perfect for this test to show? Something like so. Solder them together. And how I'm going to do that, let's grab some flux and dip the ends in. Grab a soldering iron. We do got some solder on it, so we can put this end to this end here. So what I'll do first, solder the power side first because it's the shorter side, just because it's easier for me to show here. We're going to need more solder for this. Make sure we got a nice strong joint for this. There we go. Flashed off. Now we do the other side. Line them up nicely. And solder this side. Good. Now let's add a little bit more on this side. Good. Like that. Alright. And so that, even though they're off to the side, that is in parallel. This side, the power side, is connected to the power side, and the ground side is connected to the ground side. Now these are hooked up together. I'm going to show you what I mean by more capacitance in parallel. So capacitance here. Hold this one side, hold this to the other side. Give it a second to read. 580. A little bit higher than 540, but it works. So now we have a higher capacitance. So next what we're going to do is we're going to connect the power side. Again, the power side is a side that does not have a marking, and the ground is a side that has the marking. The power side is going to be your longer terminal, and your ground side will be the shorter terminal. So what I'm going to do is solder on the ground side to the ground side, somewhere up here, and over here, I'll just solder on another wire and connect it to my piece. So we got our fan, capacitors, show them here. There we go. So here we go. Show this again. So this is a 12 volt fan. These are 16 volt capacitors in parallel to give added capacitance. So these are 270 microfarad. They're roughly 540. These ones are showing about 580 microfarad. And right now, what will happen, because we're hooked into now the power supply, we'll have a higher capacitance right now. So I'll show there. We should be in a really high capacitance due to the fact we're hooked up to a power supply with its big capacitors. 6.6 megafarads. Perfect. 6.8. Perfect. Now, what we'll do, put it to voltage. We'll turn it on. I'll show you that it's actually reading 12 volts. And then you'll see the fan spin. So there we go. 11.9. There we go. 12. 11.9 just because we are losing a bit due to the fact it is fan spinning. So basically 12 volt, perfect. Turn it off. This is going to spin a bit longer than normal. Again, it's not going to be too much of a difference due to the fact these are not huge capacitors, but if you have huge capacitors, it would show that it was running a lot faster or a lot longer. Now show the voltage when turning off power supply. There's the voltage draining. Now we're in millivolt range all the way till it's fully drained, which will take a while. That just shows more capacitors in parallel, the larger the capacitance or the bigger the battery bank. Depends on what you're doing with the capacitors. For graphics cards, what we're going to be doing is adding capacitance to help with transient response and decoupling. It does help with decoupling as well. Having it in parallel does help it. We are not caring about having extra voltage. The capacitors that you will be using for this are generally 16 volt capacitors. Your range of capacitance could change, but whether or not it's because, let's say you're having a capacitor right after your VRM. So before your VRM, 16 volt generally capacitors on right from factory. Now after your VRM, you'll have 2.5 volt capacitors. Now the 2.5 volt capacitors, because your voltage on the outside of your phase, your VRM, is only going to be generally one, like anywhere from 600 millivolts to 1.2 volts max. So they'll use a 2.5 volt capacitor. And you can add on a 16 volt capacitor parallel to that. All right. Your voltage still is only going to be 2.5 volts. It'll still stay at that range. It'll stay at the lowest. Your capacitance will double, or not technically double, but they'll, it depends on your capacitors too, whether or not they are 400 microfarad and 400 microfarad. It'll double up roughly about 800. If you have a smaller capacitor and a larger capacitance, so a 300 microfarad and a 500 microfarad, it will only be those two combined. It does not double because you're added in parallel. You are doubling the capacitance if they are the exact same. You're adding on the capacitor value of its capacitance and keeping the voltage in parallel. In series, you're going to be doubling the voltage rating but keeping the same capacitance. Hopefully this helps you. If you would like me to do other videos like this, little tutorials and whatnot to show you what capacitors do and how they can benefit your overclocking on graphics cards and how to modify stuff, I have videos out there. If you want to go check out my videos on how to modify graphics cards certain ways, there's multiple different ways that you can modify graphics cards, such as this one here, adding on your own power source. I am making a video here to how to do it multiple ways, because there is multiple ways to add your own power source to a graphics card that does not have it, only has the 12 volt and 3.3 volt through this card, like the actual slot, PCIe slot. And you can add in your own power source, like your own 6-pin or 8-pin. And I'm working on a video how to do that, but I have shown this live on my live streams how to do this. On this, all my graphics cards, I've shown live how to do it. How to do your own modifications for core voltage control, memory core voltage control, what capacitors you should be using, where for your modifications, because your capacitors will matter, especially on around the core side. It will matter for whether or not it could be more beneficial for you to use a certain size capacitor in certain locations of the card. So go check out those videos, and if you have any comments, let me know in the comment section, and I will try to do other videos that are educational for you. Again, thank you to all my viewers, subscribers, and donators. You guys are helping this channel more than you know. And again, as always, don't forget to get her done. Peace.